What's happening, everybody? This is V3Cast, episode 21. It is December. It is icy cold. It's the holiday season, right? It's the holiday season, and we're having fun, and we got lots to talk about. This is kind of our year-end episode. We're going to be talking about some fun stuff that we discovered this year, what's some of our favorite things this year. But first, we're going to start off with, what are y'all drinking?
I just got real traditional Labatt Blue, straight up.
Oh, yeah.
Straightforward.
In honor of our next door neighbors, Canada.
Our neighbors to the south, Canada.
What's the matter with you?
Born and raised in South Detroit.
Yeah.
Greg, what do you got? I know you got something fancy.
All right. Changing it up for our non-alcoholic crowd. Liquid Death Severed Lime. You ever had this?
Cool. No, but is it good?
It's like this is one of the sparkling ones. So they make Liquid Death that's just water. It's just water. It's just water in a can, but this is actually sparkling water.
Nice.
Does it have a bite to it?
Yeah, it's like pop, but it's like not sugary like that. It's only 20 calories, so it's.
Is it kind of like LaCroix or no?
Yeah, I mean it's exactly like that.
Okay.
So it's got a little bit of a lime flavor.
Nice.
And it's fizzy. Plus it's got cool art.
Oh, the art is great.
Yeah.
They're trying to keep up with Three Floyds on the art. Yeah. So
I'm
making water metal.
That's right. I had a beer earlier, so tonight I'm having sparkling water.
Sweet.
Dig it, man.
I like to keep people guessing, man. You think you know me.
You'll never know what Greg's gonna get.
You'll never know. Hey, Greg, what's that hat? I can't tell. Is that us? Oh yeah, that's us. There you go.
Look at that. Sweet. The War Mask era Voyager 3 beanie. Perfect for this negative 14-degree weather we're experiencing.
There you go.
Yeah, that's exactly why I'm wearing it. It's cold as shit out here.
Greg's a smart man. He's been around the block a time or two. He knows what to do.
That's right.
What do you have, Steve?
Oh, man. In honor of this holiday season and
hot chocolate. Come on, man.
I wish, actually. No, but I went traditional. And I got my White Monster. Yeah, check it out. God, I know y'all like when I crack it open. Oh yeah.
He's gonna close out the year with White Monster.
I didn't hear it crack open.
It cracked open.
Got it. Steve will put that in post.
Yeah, we got to edit that in there. That was a fucking non-satisfying crack.
That's right.
Yeah, Steve, put one in that has like a ton of like reverb and delay on it.
Yeah.
God,
I know y'all like when I crack it open. Oh yeah.
Steve's gonna.
The return of the White Monster. It's probably been since May.
It's been a while. It's one of my favorites. It's one of my go-tos.
I like it.
We gave Steve a complex about the White Monster. He's afraid to bring it on the show now.
I just drank it behind your back.
Right.
All right. Well, hey.
All right.
We got a kind of a tie-in here.
Right.
And to go along with what are you drinking, I wanted to ask, what's some of your favorite holiday food combos?
Okay.
I'll go first on this one.
All right.
Y'all probably know this already because I talk about it all the time. I get real excited about it because I love these two flavors. It is stuffing and cranberry sauce. And when I say cranberry sauce, I don't mean that really good stuff that you see like on the cover of the book. No. I'm talking about the cranberry sauce that's in the shape of the can. That's what I go.
Likes.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that's the only cranberry there is. I mean,
you put those two flavors together, and that's the holidays to me. That that's all you need. That sage, all that butter, and the cranberry sauce.
That's old school. That's old school. That's how you do it in Detroit.
That's right. That's Detroit style cranberry sauce. It looks like the can.
Hey, did you ever notice that they put the label on upside down on those?
You know what? Yeah, because when I tried to open it just this past Thanksgiving, I had to flip. Why is that?
Messes with you. I don't know. Somebody needs to explain it.
Put it in the comments. Why in the hell is Ocean Spray, or maybe all of them, but I got Ocean Spray this last time. Why is the label upside down?
It's always upside down.
That's weird.
Does
All
it
right.
make does it make it come out of the can easier?
I don't know. I'll just spank it on its ass and it comes right out.
Oh man. My holiday favorite thing that's not like necessarily the everyday holiday stuff. My wife makes these jalapenos bacon wrapped with cheese. She puts like cream cheese and cheddar cheese in there.
Wow.
So they're not quite jalapeno poppers like with the fried batter and all that, but they're kind of like stuffed jalapenos.
Well, they're slightly healthier. Slightly.
Oh no.
There's two kind of cheeses, but no breading.
They're bacon wrapped.
Oh yeah, right. Bacon as well.
And you always hope that like it's going to be a really spicy batch of jalapenos, because when you get them from the fruit market or wherever, you don't know what you're getting. You don't know if it's going to be spicy or not, but you can hope.
Yeah, Cedric the Entertainer once said that there's hope and there's wish. You hope that the jalapenos are hot, but you wish.
Well, you wish somebody would try to like take them from you,
Right.
Yeah, exactly. I wish a motherfucker would.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Greg, what you got?
Well, since I'm vegetarian, I mostly look forward to sides. So for me, it's mashed potatoes. Mashed potatoes are king. Then in my family, we make this. I don't know if it's something that everybody makes, but it's like they call it corn pudding, but it's not pudding at all. It's like bread, sort of. It's almost like a cake, but it has like corn in it.
I would love to try that.
It's not corn bread, because I know what that is, and there ain't nothing wrong with that.
No, cornbread's great.
And then, but this is like some sort of. My grandma used to call it corn pudding, but it's not pudding. It's not what I would call pudding, at least.
Well, they call bread pudding, and it's like chunky like that. Is not like traditional pudding.
So maybe it's like an old school term for.
I thought I heard somebody call it corn casserole. Is that it or no?
It could be. That's exactly what it seems like. So it's like a bready corn dish,
and it's definitely sweetish. Right?
It's got some sweetness to it.
Yeah. Not Swedish as in the nationality. Swedish as in sort of sweet.
Right.
Yeah.
Sugar.
That sounds good. I think I had some of that the other day, but not at your house. I would like to have it at your house.
Yeah.
Oh, and one
are you going to have some of that tomorrow night? What time
are you
dinner?
talking about?
Are we coming over?
I thought we're coming over tomorrow.
To my house?
Yeah.
You guys can come over.
For the corn pudding.
I won't be here.
Oh, Jesus, man.
We'll just leave it in the fridge.
At my sister's house.
We'll clean up.
Yeah.
Come over to my sister's house. That's even closer.
All right. Okay, cool. What's the other thing you were going to say?
So Ange makes this dessert, and it's the most decadent, like terrible for you dessert there is. Like, I don't know how much butter she melts, but it's a lot of butter.
All of it.
And then she takes like two full size Cool Whip containers.
You speak in my language.
And then crushed pineapple and Milky Way bars. And you cut up the Milky Way into tiny little pieces, and then it's got crushed pineapple in there, and then you're not supposed to stir it. You got to fold it all in. That's what they say. You got to fold it. But anyways, it ends up being this Cool Whip thing with like Milky Ways and crushed pineapple floating in it.
Man, that sounds wonderful.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, man.
Next stop, your thighs, Steve.
Yes, I hear you. Well,
is she making
special request? Yeah, is she making it when we come over tomorrow?
When we come over?
Yeah. My family doesn't allow her to show up to events anymore unless she makes it.
Gotcha.
Good.
Gotcha.
All right.
It's gotten to that point.
There's this dessert that a good friend of mine's mom makes. It's like this orange whip kind of sort of thing. It's got
three orange whips, Steve.
Yeah, exactly.
Orange whip.
It has like orange and a lot of sour cream, believe it or not. I know it sounds crazy, but it all does work.
Oh, I like sour cream.
It's one of those ones that's right up my alley. It's like that ambrosia family of desserts. Yeah. You know, that whole.
You know what?
It's
I
just
like that. I like the sound of that. You know why I like it? Because it's orange.
Yeah,
orange.
Here we go with this. You know, regular oranges are fine, Aaron.
Yeah, they are fine.
It's fake orange candy that does not taste like oranges at all.
Good too. That's good too. And I'll prove it to you. I'll prove it to you coming up in a bit.
I think, I was going to say, I think I know who said something about this.
Right.
I think somebody that we know very well weighed in on this.
That's true.
More than one.
I also have an honorable mention about holiday food, because I'm telling you what, you all know this just as well as I do, that there's so many good flavor combinations, sweet, savory, whatever, around the holidays. So it's hard to name one. So I'm going to pull a Greg Maston, and I'm going to do an honorable mention, which basically lets me name two.
You can do it, Steve.
So
it's your podcast.
A charcuterie spread. And that's very varied, as you know, right? There's all kinds of different meats and cheeses. There's the olives, there's peppers of different types, right? And there's different types of crackers. Sometimes they go for more plain crackers. Sometimes it's like a very
I like crackers.
The cracker, right? You know what I'm saying?
Are good.
So a charcuterie spread. And I'll leave it vague, because everybody has their own definition of what's the best one. You know, black olives, green olives, whatever, both, whatever. So
what about a Ritz cracker, Steve? How do you feel about a Ritz cracker?
I love a Ritz cracker. Yeah.
Since we're in the holiday mood and everybody's adding on to their shit, I'm going to add one to mine honorable mention.
See, get in there, Aaron. Get in there with an honorable mention.
Get two of them, man. Get it.
My wife makes another thing that she kind of improvised it one day, because I was like, oh man, I sure would like a chocolate cake with cinnamon. So she makes a cinnamon chocolate cake. I mean, not like that's never been thought of before. The thing is, I voiced my sort of fantasy about it, and about 2 hours later, it was sitting in front of me.
Man, that fast, huh? She good.
Yes. And she did it again today, because I just said, like, oh man, it's been a while since I had one of those.
Aaron's just walking around the house dropping hints, man.
I know. Okay, well then check this out. Greg, tomorrow, Aaron and I will see you. And then right after this podcast, Greg and I will see you, Aaron.
You coming over?
We're coming over tonight.
Yeah, I'm going right out in this bomb cyclone.
That's right. It's worth it to try this cinnamon chocolate cake that I hear you speak of.
It's perfect with coffee. I mean, obviously, it's perfect with coffee.
What isn't perfect with coffee?
Right.
True. Very true.
Okay, we have come to our second installment of Collecting Cool Stuff this week with Steve.
Oh man! All right, it's the same company that you talked about last week, which is called Reaction.
Yes.
Or no, I think you said Super 7. Yeah, Super 7 is Reaction. So I have Ghosts and Goblins. I've had this for quite a long time. Arthur. Now, there's a little trick here. You have to be a very experienced Ghosts and Goblins fan to realize that this is actually Super Ghouls and Ghosts, because in the original Ghosts and Goblins, he didn't have the gold armor. That's something that happened in the later iterations of the game. But it's still the Ghosts and Goblins world. So I have this. It's in my control room in the studio, and it enhances the vibe. It makes me happy, because I love that game. It's one of my favorite games of all time.
I just spent some time in that control room.
Yes, you did. Yeah. Oh, here's a trivia question. Do you know what Ghosts and Goblins was called in Japan, where it was created?
I think I know this. I don't know it. Go ahead.
It's called Hell Village. Somehow when it came to the States,
I remember you telling
call
me
it Ghosts and Goblins. Huh? I'm not quite sure why. Yeah.
Where have I heard that title, Hell Village, before?
Yeah, put it in the comments if you know what Hell Village is.
That's cool, man. That's a nice little figure you got there.
I know, man. I'm trying to remember where I got that one from, because I have some others that I got from UHF over in Royal Oak. It's a really cool record store. But this one, I think I got it online.
Did you get it at a convention?
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, either a convention or eBay.
Nice.
Both of which are great to peruse.
We're starting to really build up a little mini collection of cool stuff that we're getting from talking to people and meeting people at the horror conventions that we do. Didn't we get
check it out.
Painting?
Watch my finger right now. This painting right there is the first ghoul / zombie that you see in Night of the Living Dead. The table that we were next to at Astronomicon 5, they did paintings like that, and that's what that is. But it's a really cool rendition of that ghoul.
Awesome.
They got a twofer on this episode of Collecting Cool Stuff.
That's right. All right, next on V3Cast, in the spirit of the upcoming new year and the holiday season, what are you most looking forward to in 2023? Aaron, what's on your list?
I have a simple request, and it involves you guys and a couple other people. We started a D&D campaign last year, and we didn't get very deep into it at all. But we had the best intentions, and now is the time in 23. We're going to get back into it.
Yes, we are.
We're going to have some fun because we put a lot of effort into making those characters, and I want to see if they live or die or what, and if we can build them up and where we can go with them.
My character's dead, I think.
No,
it's been dead. So long. He's just sitting out there.
No, we're sitting right there in the woods.
Yeah, time freezes when you're not playing, basically.
Yeah, we killed those orcs. We killed the orcs. We're taking their crap, and we're about to go raid that orc settlement. That orc camp is what we're going to do. And we're going to kill them all. Every single one.
You have to rescue that baby.
Yeah, we got to rescue the baby and the mom.
That's right. And time's ticking because when the next full moon, the summoning begins and all hell breaks loose. So you guys got to stop them, though.
And we're going to do it all. And you know how rich we're going to be after that? Come on.
Yeah, there's probably quite a bit of treasure in there.
All the weaponry.
I'm going to assume. Yeah.
My character has a crazy amount of strength, so he can carry all the equipment.
Yes. Yeah, we're definitely going to have to jump back into that for sure.
That's what I want.
Without a doubt.
What about you guys?
Well, mine is sort of related because it has to do with you guys. I'm looking forward to recording and releasing more Voyager 3 music. I know that sounds like, okay, whatever. I'm serious though. We got a lot of stuff brewing and things happening. So we got to get to this, man.
Yes. Very soon.
And more shows.
Yes, live shows, man, for sure.
We got to get out to Toronto. Make up that show that we missed because of COVID.
Yeah,
that's right. And we got to apologize to everybody at Comics and More for that show a few weeks ago that we had to cancel because COVID came through our camp. Again, it's hard to do shows right now, man. We're trying our best. We've done a couple, but that one wasn't meant to be. But we're going to reschedule that as well because we got to continue to celebrate the sequel comic to New York Ninja that is now out.
So what I'm looking forward to in 2023, other than what we just mentioned, is one thing, and it's a movie. Which movie do you think it is, Aaron?
I
shouldn't say I'm only looking forward to one thing. That's not really right. But I am looking forward to this movie after seeing the trailer.
Wow.
Because I'm a sucker.
Oh, I know what it is. I'm a sucker. The fifth, is it the fifth one? The Indiana Jones, right?
Yep. Yeah. Steve got it. I'm a sucker for Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to give it a chance.
I think we can almost guarantee it's going to be better than part 4.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be.
Yeah.
It has to be.
Yeah.
That's what I got. That's what I'm looking forward to. I'm sure most people will tell me I'm crazy.
And we want to know what you're looking forward to. So leave that in the comments for 2023. It's going to be a good one. I feel it.
Yeah.
All right, we got some Voyager 3 news to get through. One of the coolest things that's happened just lately is we're contributing a track to an indie slasher film called Movie Theater Massacre, and it was written and directed by our good friend Ian Courtney. And we do one track in it. We just recorded it and mixed it, and we sent it off. They're in post-production now, so when we have more news to announce, we will definitely have it on V3Cast and our website.
It's one scene, and it's kind of a short song, but it packs a lot of punch, and it's not quite our typical Voyager 3 thing. I don't know if we have a typical thing. Maybe we do, but this is a little different. I know that.
Yeah, I was happy to help Ian out, too. You know, we've known Ian forever, and he's always been super obsessed with movies, so him and I have been going to see movies together recently a bit more often, which is also great, you know. So over the course of, you know, sort of reconnecting with him and going to see movies. He came to my birthday party. Like we've just gotten to sort of reconnect after a number of years. And when I heard he was doing the movie, I was excited to just go see the movie. And I kept asking him about it. And then, the idea of doing a scene came, probably after he felt comfortable enough to ask me or ask us to do it, So
Yeah.
I'm glad we were able to do it. And it is a short, it's a short scene, but it's probably also the most, pivotal scene, I think. So
Yeah,
I'm glad we got to do it. It's fun. I got to hit real acoustic drums. That feels good.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, indeed, man. All right. We have a cool sale going on at Voyager3store.com, VOYAG3R store.com. All orders over $35 get free U.S. domestic shipping. I think we're going to do that maybe all of January, just to kind of celebrate the new year and pass along some savings to you and let you stock up on stuff you haven't gotten yet in the Voyager 3 universe.
Yeah,
like
get one of these warm hats.
Yeah, I know. I think there's like about 2 or 3 of those left. But check out what we got. Brand new shirt to the store called Portal. Tell me what you think about this one.
There you go. I like it.
That's tight. That's tight. And don't forget, if you're a fan of the band and the podcast, or else you wouldn't be watching this, don't forget to get yourself a V3 Cast t-shirt.
I like that too.
That's right. We got all the sizes. They're nice, high quality ring spun cotton shirts. So there's that nice soft cotton. One last cool note to mention is that New York Ninja is playing again on Showtime. It's called Showtime/BET. So those of you who have Showtime know which channel that is within the Showtime bubble. It's playing on Saturday, December 24th, Christmas Eve at 6:30 p.m. So if you really want to freak out your in-laws, put on New York Ninja.
Yeah. It's appropriate Christmas movie for sure.
I think so. Why not?
Yeah, it's always a good time for New York Ninja.
Mailbag.
And we have the mailbag. There's a few little comments in the mailbag this time. There's from Daniel Sardella. He talked about his favorite book to movie stuff, like because we talked about that last time. He mentioned Clockwork Orange. I want to go read the book now. I've always known there was a book, of course, but I never read it. So, like right now, I'm reading The Godfather. Better late than never. For the first time, reading The Godfather. So I will read Clockwork Orange too. And I think you said you wanted to look into that too, right, Steve?
The Godfather. I'm going to watch it. That's my latest Cam Floyd challenge, as a matter of fact.
There you go. Yeah, it's still ticking. The clock is ticking.
I know. All eyes are on me. I got laser beams on my back. I'm looking over my shoulder when I get in the car. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm very nervous.
Out there shopping for oranges and stuff. You never know who's going to come up to you when you're out there in the streets.
You see what he did there, Greg? He keeps sneaking it in. You see?
I know. He's building up to it.
He mentioned Silence of the Lambs and Jackie Brown also. And B.L. Fisher also mentioned Clockwork Orange. So really, that's some serious recommendations.
Yeah, man, for sure. That's got to be one of the next ones on your list because either 2 or 3 people mentioned that. You're right.
Yeah. Blog Jammer mentioned Blade Runner, which is he said, it's super different from the book. It's he took the book and really made something completely.
And is the book a short as well, or no? Is it a short story?
Short. Yeah, and there are some similarities, but it really took the book as just a baseline and just jumped off from there. And which Blade Runner also happens to be my favorite movie of all time. And then the most
and the book is called Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep, right?
Yes, exactly. The most important thing of the mailbag, though, is some comments from our friends Colin and our friend Matt. Colin, he went into this.
Yeah, really let's talk about Collins.
Let's talk about Matt's first. Matt's first.
No.
I think Matt should go first. Matt said that orange is definitely the best candy, and he's a smart man. He's got great taste.
I know Matt.
and you know him well because you used to be in a band with him.
I know. And I when he was in a band with me, he had better taste.
That's a great line. That's a great line. You don't even need to know exactly what it means. That's just good shit.
I've got no other argument, I suppose, with people liking orange. So I just gotta make something up.
We're fighting for our lives here. Right. Colin, really had some well thought out, beautiful words about orange. He said that most kids start with red flavors because they have that pop appeal and they're sweet and everything. And then as they get older, kids, they get into lemon and sour stuff because of the sort of the shock of it. And then you get a little bit older and you settle into orange because it's right in between the sweet and the sour, and it's more of a cultured sort of mature taste. And I'm like, hell yeah, Colin, you fucking know, man.
All right, can you read the last sentence to me though?
The last sentence, he goes, that being said, it's trash, strawberry forever. And I'm like, motherfucker, why would you do that to me?
Man, he reeled you in.
He reeled me right in.
Colin's a real OG, man.
He is.
Thanks for having my back.
He is.
And I love it how he calls it trash too. That's like a perfect word choice to just take a shit on your hopes and dreams in life.
I know he had Aaron going too, man. Like when I read that, I was literally laughing at my house when I was reading the comment.
He got you. I'll get over it.
Colin's that real, that he knows what he's talking about.
He's that real. He is.
He is.
I think we're kind of split 1-1 for and against orange. I don't know if we'll ever solve this problem.
I think I need to talk to Matt.
I
need to get in his head a little bit.
Convince him.
Matt's already made his decision. He's a grown man.
He's a grown ass man.
I think I can convert him. I think I can make him see the error of his ways.
Make him see.
Okay. All right. This one comes from Nick C. He's been making a list and he's been checking it twice because he has written down all of Voyager 3 albums and kind of what genre they cover. So according to what we've done so far, our Mad Max tribute is Victory in the Battle Chamber. Our fantasy movie tribute album would be Doom Fortress. Horror movie would be War Mask. Sci-fi movie, Are You Synthetic? Ninja movie, obviously New York Ninja. Then he added one additional one, spy movie with question marks. So that's pretty fun. And I love a lot of spy movies.
To do a 007 movie, I'd be up for it.
So,
hey Nick, you never know. You never know, man.
We could. You think we could?
That's right.
By that time, we're going to be on that Hans Zimmer level, right?
Right. Yeah. Maybe we'll score the next James Bond film.
Could be.
Hey, we can wish, can't we? All right. As we mentioned, this is V3 Cast, episode 21, and we're kind of celebrating the holidays and looking forward to the new year. So we're going to look back on 2022 and talk about our favorite film, our favorite album, and something new that you personally discovered this year.
I'm going to get through this quick because it just so happens that my favorite film also contains my favorite music for the year.
Man, you better not have stole this from me. You better not have.
No. I don't think you guys would have watched this. I don't think.
Okay.
So you guys probably remember me texting you about a movie called Speak No Evil.
Yes.
And it was on Shudder, and I told you my exact quote was, I hesitate to recommend it to you.
Oh, right. Yes.
But when Steve sent this out and he's like, what's your favorite film of 2022? I sat there and I thought for a minute, and I'm like, there's only one movie that stuck with me. You know what I mean? Like I've watched a bunch of films this year, but like that one in particular, it just gets into your head. And it's just living there rent free. You know what I mean? And
well, that's the mark potentially of a good film. It made an impact.
Right. But I hesitate to recommend it to people because of that very reason. I don't want to give too much away about the movie, but I will say that it goes for the jugular. And it is a slow burn. So if you don't like slow movies that sort of build up to a point where everything just explodes, this might not be for you, but that's my favorite movie. I really can't, I just can't think of another one that has stuck with me, like that I think about from time to time, and just it's really a special movie.
We'll put a link to that in the description, maybe the trailer or something, or
and it's on Shudder. So if you don't have Shudder, I don't know if you can watch it, but maybe you can rent it or something. But I think it's a Dutch film. I know they're like Danish or something like that. So, and then the guy who did the soundtrack, I think he's Danish too. His name's Soon Kolster. And the music is just like the movie. It just doesn't let go.
Yeah.
It's like it's just as mean and brutal as the movie is. So it's just really good, man. And it's I like this kind of movie music that's just really dark. Anyways, that covers my favorite album and favorite movie, all in one shot. How do you like them apples?
What about you? Do you have a new discovery?
You're putting me on the spot, man.
Yeah.
My new discovery is that somehow Steve Roach has eluded me.
Right on.
So I'm going to go with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You were just talking about him.
Yeah. It's always great to discover a new artist, especially when they have as many albums as he does, because you'll almost never get through them all. I don't even know. He has so many albums.
Yeah, and like I told you guys, I feel like I was aware of him, but I just never went down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely all the way in. I'm invested now.
Right on.
Cool. How about you,
That's
Steve?
my discovery for 2023.
All right. Well, I got nervous for a second. Did you hear my voice raise up when Greg was saying like the movie and the score are the same thing? I'm like, what?
Right.
Because mine is.
Right.
But I'm going to throw in an honorable mention. Don't tell anybody. But my main movie and film, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. I mean,
Sweet.
God damn. The film was great. So many people just crushed their performance. Basically, everybody did. And the score, again, is Ludwig Göransson. He is fantastic. He did the score for both Black Panther films, and the score is great. It's reminiscent of the first one, but then takes new directions because obviously one of the characters is no longer in the film, so he had to kind of rethink things. He even said that in an interview. He had to kind of restructure some of the vibe because a lot of the cues were around Chadwick Boseman's character, so he kind of had to rethink that. And what a creative way, to carry on and honor it and all that good stuff. I don't want to spoil anything. Just see it as soon as you can if you're a fan of that film, or even the Marvel movies in general. They just crushed it. I thought it was great moments.
Yeah, awesome. What's your new discovery?
Believe it or not.
Yeah, Steve, you better have one too.
I totally do. Well thought out and from the heart and everything. We do V3 Cast, and we've been doing it now for a year and one episode. So what is that? A year and 2-3 weeks, whatever. And it's not that I didn't like podcasting. It's just I was like, well, the pandemic. What's a good way to reach our fans besides playing live and besides releasing records? So I thought podcast, and you guys were on board, and there you have it. And but in this past year, I really discovered that I really like podcasting. It's very fun. It's creative. It's a good outlet. I even do a music and coffee podcast, also Roasted Spins. So I've discovered that I really love podcasting. And we try to do as good a job as we can. We come up with creative topics and try to be organized about it, and try to do a little production value in the show and have it be fun and move it along. So my discovery, I love podcasting.
Yeah, me too. What's your honorable mention? Greg, do you love podcasting? Greg?
No, I don't like it at all.
I knew he was going to go against Aaron. I just knew it. That's the reflex.
One day I'll get you, man.
Well, the thing is, I listen to Howard Stern, and everybody who listens to him has heard his take on podcasters.
Yeah,
I don't know it. What does he say about podcasters?
He says, it's not real broadcasting in his mind, because it's not the tried. It's not the true.
He came up in that, ecosystem. I get it. Right. He's old school, and there's nothing wrong with that. But this might be the new way that things get carried out. Maybe.
I mean, I think I agree with him for the most part, because I'm sure there are there's just a ton, right? Yeah. And it could just be anybody who wants to talk about anything. So, I mean, when you think about that, the amount of content that's out there, I get where he's coming from. But I mean, the part I disagree with is like, man, if people can do whatever they want. If they want to create content and they find an audience, why not?
Right. True. Yeah. Will everybody connect with thousands of people? Probably not. But hey, have fun. Have fun.
It's probably also a little bit of insecurity on his part.
Sure.
It's a brand new thing, and he's probably somewhat scared of it. Right. Well, maybe not. I don't know. He'd probably be mad if I said he was scared of it.
Right. Well, I bet when satellite radio first started, he was totally ripping on that too. I don't remember. I was listening to it back then, but he probably had plenty of stuff to say about satellite stuff until he went there,
right.
Right. Yeah. My honorable mention is Barbarian.
Yes.
I had no idea what it was about. I went in completely cold, didn't even see the trailer. And holy moly, what a ride. It went in directions I never would have thought about. And a lot of it was filmed in Detroit. That's cool.
Yeah.
Very fun movie. I recommend it. I think it's on Netflix, but you can search it to make sure.
I kicked that one around in my head a lot because I thought about it so much since I saw it, and it's so unpredictable and so pleasantly surprising,
right,
in the nastiest way. And I was saying to you guys that movie, some movies it's just that you need a city. It could be Cleveland, it could be Detroit, Chicago, whatever. That movie could only take place in Detroit, because of the unique makeup of the neighborhood, the sort of bombed out feel of this neighborhood,
Right. And how something like that could be not discovered for so many years, right? I don't want to spoil it. But you're right. It needed that unique chemistry of some of the very worst neighborhoods that Detroit has, unfortunately.
Right. Unfortunately. Anyway, it was awesome. Well, for mine, I've had a weird couple of years with movies because I've been doing so much studying and so much missing out on some of the simple pleasures of life, like movies, that what it's kind of boiled down to for me lately is I'll watch Marvel movies, and that's almost it, and then there's TV stuff too. Like if I'm, plenty of freaking Star Wars TV series, and Marvel TV series. So it's like I've had to boil down I can't go to the movies as much as I want to lately, or I can't watch as much as I want lately. So I got to pick the most high impact stuff, and it just ends up being more and more Marvel movies, which I love those movies, but I kind of felt like I got into a rut. Like all this stuff that Martin Scorsese said, Quentin Tarantino said, I disagree with a lot of it. The attitude about it, but some of it is true. The Marvel has been, it's not Marvel's fault necessarily. It's the people who are foregoing other movies in the theater and only seeing Marvel movies because they're such a big deal, including me. So it's not when's the last Martin Scorsese movie anyway, right? Like, how much does he do lately? When's the last Francis Ford Coppola movie? They don't do much, and maybe that's because of the market. But when they do them, I'll see them. I'll go see them. Anyway, I've been trying to dig out of this rut of just watching, so many superhero movies. I'll always watch them, but I want to. I've been getting into more movies lately. I've had more time again. Been sort of reclaiming my life. So I watched Barbarian. I watched Men. I watched Nope. I watched a bunch of these movies that I've been wanting to see. And something I really was dying to see all year, but like the last few months was Amsterdam with Christian Bale, John David Washington, Margot Robbie, and a really insanely awesome cast. Like there are so many people. Chris Rock is in it. Freaking Robert De Niro. There's so many people who come in and out of this movie. Even in like the hour and a half mark, they're still introducing characters that are like, like major important actors, who just kind of come into this movie and kind of steal the show. But Christian Bale, I think, deserves an Oscar for this movie. It was directed by David O. Russell, and it's this really cool, quirky, sort of Coen Brothers-esque movie about two war vets, Bale and Washington. They're war vets, injured war vets. And Margot Robbie is the nurse who takes care of them over in France when they were in World War One. And they come back to New York and everything. And this is in the in-between time between World War One and World War Two. And they kind of stumble into this weird conspiracy. It's like, as a viewer, you can see where it's going because history, what happened in World War II, but they don't see where it's going. They don't know. So they don't know what they're getting into, and it gets weirder and weirder. It's an awesome movie, and there's no superheroes in it. I mean,
right.
It's kind of rare for me lately, but Christian Bale's my favorite actor. And so it was great to see this movie finally. Actually just watched it yesterday. So that's my film of the year. I was really, I was going to say The Northman, maybe, because that was a great
still
movie
want to
too.
see that. I know we talked about that on a episode last year or earlier this year when we first heard about the trailer, and I still haven't seen it. I haven't had a time to catch it.
It's great. It's great. And that was pretty much my pick until, today when I was thinking about Amsterdam more and more. For my favorite album of the year, I went back and forth with a bunch of stuff too. That I've been able to listen to a lot of albums. I'm always listening to music when you're driving, when you're studying, whatever you're doing. I can always listen to music. But pretty much the one that I thought of and immediately, and then I kind of kept waiting for something else to knock it off the perch, but I kept going back to it, was the latest Clutch album called Sunrise on Slaughter Beach. I love Clutch. I've loved them for a long time. But I'm still objective about them. And their second most recent album, called Book of Bad Decisions, was lackluster for me. I was not a big fan. I mean, I'm going to listen to it, but I wasn't a big fan of that album.
So you're saying they made some bad decisions on that record?
Kind of, yeah. It's the production is a little tame, and the songwriting is a little tame. It's not as heavy as normal. Not that I want them. They don't need to be heavy all the time, but the heavier stuff should have the impact, that it should, right? But this new one, I was really hoping they could kind of redeem themselves, and they did. It's really great. It's and it's amazing too that they can, even after all these years, have been around since I think '92, they can still come up with some things that are different for them. And my wife was like, "Man, there's that. I don't know. I don't remember which track it is, but she's like, that one song sounds like something you guys would do." And that was a pretty huge compliment. But yeah, the new Clutch album is great, and it's pretty short and sweet, and it's just hard hitting and very, very dynamic. Lots of cool highs and lows. Yeah, and that's great. And then my discovery of the year, it's been around for a long time, but it's new to me, is prosciutto. It's like the best tasting stuff. It's like, speaking of charcuterie boards, it's often found on charcuterie boards. Now, here's the problem I have, though. You remember when Dave Chappelle had the skit where Arsenio Hall was eating the cheese and he was pissed that nobody told him how good the cheese was? Yep. I have a lot of Italian friends, including you, Greg. And none of you guys ever told me about prosciutto. You never introduced it to me. Maybe your excuse is you're a vegetarian, maybe. But I have other Italian friends too, and they are not vegetarians.
The toasted,
and they didn't introduce it to me.
Toasted bread with like the tomato stuff on top, right?
Damn it, Steve!
And olive oil.
No,
what is that called?
That's bruschetta, and that's delicious too.
Yeah. What is what you're talking about?
Prosciutto is like a super thinly sliced, sort of It's not ham, but it's a pork thing. It's sort of like a cross between ham and bacon in a way, and it's always really thinly sliced.
Oh, wait a minute! I think we just got some of that tonight on a Costco delivery.
Yeah, there you go. It's so good, and I've been getting it all the time now. I'm eating it too much, more than I should, but I got that bone to pick that these friends of mine let me suffer in ignorance of prosciutto for all these years, but it's mine now, man.
Well, take a piece of prosciutto and put it on top of some bruschetta, and it'll blow your mind.
Yes.
Oh man, that's great.
That's
all right. Well, look at that, man. 2022 was full of all kinds of good stuff, discoveries, great albums, great movies, and 2023 is going to have a lot of good stuff. This has been V3Cast, episode 21, the last one of the year, 2022. We will see all of you again next year. And if you like Voyager 3 and if you like our podcast, subscribe, like, share, all that good stuff. And we'll see you guys next time in 2023.